Literacy, much more than just reading and writing. You see, literacy also involves other skills like using technology, handling our finances, navigating the health system, and knowing how to use and understand the media. So it's really the toolkit that we have to understand and engage with the world around us. So if you live in the Estrie region of Quebec and perhaps have literacy skills that you'd like to improve or work on, well, today you're at the right place. Hi there, my name is Ed Humphrey, and here we have another episode of About Townshippers. And in this series, we introduce you to the many organizations and individuals that work both with and for the English communities of the beautiful Eastern Townships of Quebec. And this week, I sit down with Joanna Bateman. Now, Joanna is the Executive Director of Literacy in Action, an important community organization that helps English speakers in the Estrie region of Quebec develop and work on their personal literacy skills. So let's jump over to the conversation. Hi, Joanna. Nice to see you today.
Hi, Ed. Nice to see you too.
I'm glad you accepted this glorious invitation.
Yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity to let the community know what we're up to.
Well, that's really the goal. Is this web series is to put the spotlight on our various community organizations here in the English-speaking community, and now we know that these community organizations are super important, all year long and all the time. But even right now, during this health crisis, they're even more important. And of course, literacy is always a huge priority and can be a challenge for some people, and that's kind of why you guys exist. So, could you tell us a bit about the mandate and the objectives of Literacy in Action?
Sure, definitely. So, Literacy in Action is a volunteer-based organization. We're a nonprofit that's designed to support the English-speaking adults who want to increase their abilities in reading, writing, communication, document use, so like filling out forms, and computer-related skills.
Okay. Now, a very wise person once told me that we use literacy to navigate the world around us. In fact, I think that was you that told me that.
Yeah.
So now, how do you go about realizing your mandate? What type of services do you guys offer?
So all of the work we do is really founded in, it's shaped on 4 different pillars. So we do one-on-one tutoring support for adults, Anglophone adults who are looking for that basic reading, writing, computer skills, where really sometimes, it just having someone there to let them know they're doing it right. Or if they have a question, we have confidential one-on-one services for them, as well as training tutors and co-animators. So because we're volunteer-based, we try to empower our volunteers to feel like they're equipped to support other adults. A third thing we do is we design literacy-oriented activities and resources. So some of those are arts and scraps, as well as our Books to Belly program. As well, we have the 4th pillar is advocacy. So sometimes we're consulted by the government to help them support citizens, as well as making sure that our partners and collaborators in the field understand the needs of the communities and individuals that we're working with. And by the way, all of it is free and confidential, and ultimately founded to help people discover how they best learn so they can orient themselves in the world around them.
Well, those are 2 really important points: the cost, which is 0, and the fact that everybody learns differently.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because you mentioned computer skills, and I wouldn't right away put that into the literacy category. often we think reading, writing, when it kind of stops there, but it's much larger than that, right? And that kind of leads me to my next question. During this health crisis, how have you guys had to adapt your services to be able to serve your clients?
Well, that's been a really interesting exploration, actually. So, indeed, computer literacy skills are not necessarily people's immediate thought when they think of an organization like ours. But just to clarify, literacy is really about understanding shapes, symbols, and how you interpret things around you. So sometimes, a lot of information right now is being distributed online, but not everybody knows how to use the technology that would allow them to access that information. So one of the things that we've done in our case, because typically we go to the individual, we go to the people in the community. Now what we've done is we've created call-in hours. So what were formerly drop-in hours, they're now call-in hours where people can call us if they're having any uncertainty around the information they're hearing related to COVID safety protocols, for example. What it's also doing is offering a direct phone line to some of our learners who are looking to find other resources now, because we work in a rural area, a rural territory typically, and the information isn't necessarily visible right away. So people do rely on their smartphones or computers in order to find out what else is being offered right now. So we're also in close contact with our partners to find out what services they're offering and where, so that some of our learners who call us to find out, we have the most up-to-date information, and then we can redirect them.
Okay. Now, when you mention partners, I think about partners, and I think of geography a wee bit. Now, your office is in Sherbrooke, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys serve the entire Eastern Townships, or is it more the areas around Sherbrooke? So what areas do you guys actually serve?
So we are responsible for the Estrie region, which is basically from Magog towards Lac Mégantic. However, over the past few years, we have been working on expanding Sherbrooke being kind of like the base, to creating partnerships in locations like Magog, like Richmond, and Stansted, as well in Barrie and the other MRCs, so that we have a base, a foot on the ground, and that the Francophone organizations, when they have an Anglophone approach them for support, they know that we're available to go out to the individual. Because some people might not consider this, but if you have low literacy skills, you are going to have a bit more trouble finding employment. So you might find yourself at an employment service center. And then if they know about us, and they're able to let us support that individual to get some improve some of their skills, or build on the existing skills they have, so that they can then be more likely to find work, for example. And it's been exciting, because there are a lot of organizations that have been, and services that they're looking to be able to support an Anglophone individual, and we're not necessarily equipped to do all of that support, but we can certainly help with one aspect of the individual's needs. And the other thing to mention is that Literacy in Action really takes the perspective that we are all lifelong learners, And as a result, our service is there for you, particularly if you're an Anglophone adult in the Estrie region.
Are there any other challenges that seem to be kind of forefront right now that maybe were less evident before the crisis?
There's definitely challenges that are linked to isolation any day of the week. And one thing though that I love when I speak, one thing we do is I call our learners to make sure they have what they need, right?
Okay.
And, particularly because we work with adults, they have a resourcefulness that is pretty exceptional, particularly if they have had difficulties with reading. So they're very creative in their problem solving, and they're very able to take care of themselves. The challenges that are revealing themselves is in the ways that they typically take care of money, for example. So everybody's asked, a lot of places are not taking cash. But for somebody with low literacy, their cash and what they have is how much they know they have in the bank. And using a debit machine isn't the most obvious action for them. So I've heard of some obstacles there, but they're also, under the circumstances, they're known in their community, and they're ready to ask for help. They already have kind of friends and neighbors who they are in community with and in relationship with, so they're looking out for each other. People are making sure that they've got food and things like that. So it's a long way of saying that their creativity and resilience is actually this strength right now that's really coming out, that's revealing itself. And the obstacles are actually due to basic technology that many of us would have had anyways. And a second issue is that places they would typically go to, like if they were to come to our office or go to another place, they can't walk in somewhere to get the help that they might be needing that day, or that kind of thing. So that's why we have the call line, and that's why we're staying informed and checking in. But yeah, overall, the individuals, at least that we're in communication with, seem to be doing all right.
Right now, the best way to get access to your existing services right now during this health crisis. So you have a phone in line, well, on the phone in, or we can contact you by phone. Mm-hmm. And is there certain days for that, or how does that work?
Yes, there are. Good question. On Tuesday from 1 to 4, Yolanda, our engagement coordinator, we've kind of designated those as like specific COVID hours. So she's been staying up to date on everything that's COVID related, in terms of the new protocols coming in, what are the new things that are reopening, things like that. So that's 1 to 4 on Tuesday. Okay. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we are, the phone line is open from 10 to 1. So Tuesday and Thursday, 10 to 1. And they can call 819-346-7009. I'll just say that one more time. Yeah. 346-7009. Okay. And those are our typical open hours. We decided to kind of maintain that, we're all looking for a little bit of structure. So we decided to maintain our regular open hours on site in Lennoxville to stay open, because typically otherwise we're kind of around in other communities. So
do you think the way you guys are operating now will affect how you can operate in the future?
Really, over the next few months, we're looking at how to offer our programming online in some ways for certain activities to be ongoing. So one of our challenges as an organization, even before COVID, was that we have such a large territory and we have a very small budget. So we rely a lot on grants to be able to provide these activities. And by being able to potentially offer these activities for multiple individuals simultaneously, so rather than 5 families for our Books to Belly program, maybe we can offer it to 10, but 10 families from different areas to be online. We're going to explore that. And if it works, amazing. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else. But right now, I think like everybody, we're having fun with exploring and imagining what could be possible. And with that in mind, I'm really happy to say that we're going to start, we're going to continue using our YouTube channel and do this type of thing like we're doing with you, but we're going to have it like kind of like a podcast / talk show / discussing lifelong learning, and see how that can help us just create a dialogue, a digital dialogue with people who wouldn't have typically found us otherwise. So, I mean, I can't make any promises, but I can definitely say that we're rethinking a lot of things right now, and hoping to maintain the things that work. And we're inviting the Anglophone community to experiment with us, because why not, right?
Well, you said it really clearly in the beginning that we're all lifelong learners, right? So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this. I'm convinced there's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this crisis, and everybody's learning a lot. Organizations are learning how to readapt and how to kind of adapt their objectives, more long term. So, well, lots of stuff going on, and I'll make sure that I put all the information at the end of the video. So I'll be putting up your phone number, your YouTube channel if you'd like.
Sure.
And yeah, you guys have a Facebook page?
Definitely. In fact, that is the place to check right now for us, because one of the things we're doing in the meantime is we're kind of reworking our website.
Okay.
So yeah, Facebook is where you can find us. Yeah. And anybody is welcome to add me as a friend as well.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, Joanna, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today. Now, you're the Executive Director of Literacy in Action, and you've been very kind with your time today. So I encourage everybody to check out the links and the information, and then we'll give the phone number as well. And all that's left to be done is to thank you and to wish you a healthy day.
Thank you, Ed. I wish the same to you and everybody who has been listening in. So if anyone has questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We literally do this for the people, and we're inviting you to help us make it by the people too. So don't hesitate.
Perfect. Well, have a great day.
Yes, you too. Peace.
Take care. And there you go. If you have any questions or concerns about literacy, please contact Literacy in Action. They have a Facebook page, a website, and use this phone number to get information about COVID-19 or to obtain general information about Literacy in Action's programs and services. My name is Ed Humphrey. Thank you very much for being there today, and we'll see you next time.